Okay, let me give you a little fucking detail here, okay? We got movies on. Let me show you what you do when you got movies on. Let me show you what I look like when I got movies on. Okay, this will be helpful for you. You want to elevate your life, okay, my way. If you want to rise my way, okay. Well, here's something random. Here's how I watch. This is what I look like when I watch movies. You want to go through life looking at what I'm doing and how I'm doing. Okay. This is we watch a movie.
The service here is atrocious.
Good morning, Mrs. Archer. Doris.
When it's just me and it's solo, because that's obviously different if you have you know. But I may not watch a movie like that. It depends on who they are. Like sometimes you have to focus in on it, so it depends on who they are. Some people are capable of like focusing in on a movie. Like, no, don't fucking have your phone around. No, they're giving you what's happening in life. They're giving you stuff that's happening in the world. They're giving you mindset hacks. They're giving you confidence hacks. They're giving you life lessons. Okay. Get your. Okay. Now, let's go to motherfucking this one. Okay. Let me get you on base. All right. Today's episode is brought to you by Milk Duds. Happy Halloween. I don't think anyone really does Halloween anymore. I think what they do probably is they do parking lot Halloween. That's a real thing. It's not like a joke. It's not like a fucking... Like, that's what people do. Like, they go to fucking a parking lot of, like, a public park, maybe, or, like, a motherfucking, a school or a motherfucking church or something along those lines, of YMCA. They'll park their fucking vans and their SUVs and their cars, and they just have the kids walk in that space. They got fucking security camera in the fucking parking lot, shit like that. So it is safer. It does actually kind of make some logical sense. So, I don't see anything fucking wrong with it. Again, people just fucking made up Halloween. It's not like, oh, you're fucking like detracting from the tradition of it. Well, you made that up in the first place. Alright, so this is Point Break. You got Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves. So this is early on in Keanu Reeves' career, a little bit further along the pathway for Bodie, who is motherfucking Patrick Swayze, who is now deceased. But let me give you a quick flavor of what I would look like if I am. So they tried to make Keanu Reeves look really badass. Okay. A lot of people, like, they would probably watch a movie, or they'll watch movies, they'll watch stuff. But if you were like a film critic, or you went to film school or something like that, you went to art school, you're like, no, we might just be watching the movie. If I've already seen the movie, I can kind of like see a little bit more into it. I could be talking about different things that are happening in the movie probably all the way straight through, which is sort of a skill on its own, because you'd have to always have something to say. But so they try to make Keanu Reeves look super badass. So this is when people were actually athletic. This is 1991. This is when human beings were basically just athletic. Guys were athletic, basically, without trying too hard and stuff. 1991, this is when a lot of guys, men, were like fairly athletic, and they looked like they had, you know, this was kind of the way of life then, a little bit. You were athletic without really trying. Okay. Surfing would probably test a lot of people, because either you have natural lower body ability or you don't. These type of balance things, and some people would have trouble relating to what it is if all you've done is team sports. I run my podcast with a movie plan. So Keanu was very early on in his career during this movie, Point Break. This was before The Matrix and stuff like that. Yeah. Before The Matrix and stuff like that. Like anything, you get better. It's like a basketball player, you might peak at 27 to 32 or some, for a lot of people, maybe between ages like that. You got to get, 10 years of experience. You got to get 10 years of experience in the NBA, and then you could be like, okay, you were a number 1 pick, or a number 2 pick, or a number 3 pick, or number 4 pick, number 5 pick, number 8 pick, something like that. Top 10 pick. 10 years in, you're like, okay, well, I should probably have 1 championship or 2. Some people get drafted way lower, and then they become, if they knew that so-and-so was going to be how good he is, he would have been the number 2 overall pick. But because these players don't look glossy, you have to understand the counterpoint to, like, oh yeah, to be in the NBA, you got to be like the fucking like Olympic fucking high jumper and long jumper and triple jumper and fucking javelin thrower all combined. This fucking like super fucking athlete of track and field. Well, no, I mean, look at the guy who's like the 2 guard, the wing player for the Thunder. Look at the wing player for the Thunder. You're like, basketball is actually kind of different than the way that people view basketball. Look at the wing player for the Thunder. He can't beat these fucking, vertical jump artists on fucking YouTube and stuff like that in a dunk contest. But he's the one in the NBA. He's the one making, the 8 figures a year in the fucking NBA currently under its current, payout structure. So he's the guy that's collected because he knows how to play basketball. He knows positioning. He's better strength. He has better other attributes, dribbling and timing and positioning and just being good at basketball. He's just actually good at basketball. So that's a counterpoint to, oh, you got to be fucking, Usain Bolt to fucking play in the NBA. It's like, not necessarily. I mean, there are different examples. The main guard on the Pacers, the Pacers all-star guard, he has speed, he's fast forward, like he has speed, but he kind of like developed that. He kind of learned that. So I bet he probably got like a good kind of like strength and conditioning coach. That was the thing with the Golden State Warriors all-star point guard was the guy clearly, like, from the time he was like, when he had the buzzed head, when he was super young in the NBA and he just had the buzzed head, that was like 17 point per game version, figuring it out. He had to get the strength and conditioning had to be leveled up, but then he had to have more years of seeing the players as well. More years of experience. Like, you get better at your job the more you do it. You're supposed to. You're supposed to get better at your job the more you do it. So, like, if you go in the NBA, you're going to be this. And then year 2 should be, like, better. Year 3, better. 4. Like, you kind of getting better for the first, like, 5 years probably until you're at this, kind of like probably going to all-star games and stuff like that. You're probably getting better every year for the first maybe, like, 6 years or so. And then you're kind of, like, just playing at that high level for another 4 to 5 years or so. And then you kind of, like, start dipping the other way. Okay, and then kind of like, in the later stages of your career, maybe. Baseball's the best sport. Like, I mean, people forget about that as far as, like, the quality of life, if you are a baseball player, is pretty high. I would just get with fucking Ichiro, if Ichiro, if Ichiro would take you in, I mean, you could definitely be a spark plug in the majors. For sure. I just buy fucking Ted Williams' Science of Hitting. That's my fucking Bible, basically. Ted Williams, fucking Science of Hitting, shit like that. Fucking Jerry West. Stuff like that, just giving you the fucking, like, even, just fucking, like, steel fucking mentality. You can't not win. You cannot not win. Like, you read Bill Russell and stuff like that. These are things you can do as an athlete, dude. Current ones that are in the pros that aspire, like, you're good. You made the Pro Bowl and something, but like, no, like win the Super Bowl. Like, win the Super Bowl. You know, you've had 8 years or 6 years to be good. You know, you end up getting to that point. Okay. I play it, dude. Okay, so this is Point Break. I mean, the best person, the one you want to focus on, is going to be Patrick Swayze's character. He's a better actor, and here again, it's early on in Keanu's journey here before we have the Matrix, kind of more serious roles and stuff. And Swayze's a little more experienced. Not only that, but it was kind of a perfect character just for him. Like there was a perfect like mesh of like him, you know, which like the director and the casting people like made a good call on that one to pick him, and it was a good role for him. You know, so that was one of his top 3 roles or top 5 roles, something like that. Because and then when you do that, then so this was Johnny Utah. So Johnny Utah played at the Ohio State University under Jim Tressel, I believe. Might have been Wade Phillips. But yeah, eating lots of donuts, having lots of coffee. Yeah, Johnny Utah played under, see, Gary Busey, it's fucking weird,
I've been in the field for 22 years. I fired my piece over 19 times in the line of duty. I got no idea what a blind man did.
I don't really follow anything. I'd rather be part of things, so people, you know, watch the baseball game. Like, I'm probably the type of person to be like the one playing the fucking thing. You don't get it. If I spend my energy watching it, then I'm not going to spend more time on that thing. Skateboarding is something that, I mean, for us, you want to do, you just have to know how to do it right. That's the key. It's like with stuff like that, if you don't know how to do it right, then you're wasting your time. Like anything. It doesn't matter if it's basketball or if it's MMA or if it's baseball. It's like if you don't acquire the ability, you have to fucking know within yourself, I feel like I'm doing this right. Okay, I need more experience. I need more years doing it, but I feel like I'm doing this right. I'm going about this the right way. That's why you always want to keep, you know, instruments and stuff like that, and like keep your diet to be good, and like don't overeat. Being lean is smart because, you know, a lean body is a lean brain. You know, you're not going to have these excess things. So if people want to try to do, you got to look past. That's not even. I like being around people that are like funny. I think you have to probably try to be funny. You have to go for the joke many times, and you have to fucking like honestly take the fucking feedback of like what is happening in the moment. So no, you can't just fucking railroad people and fucking like coerce them or like bribe them to fucking like laugh at your fucking things for you. No, like you have to honestly just a glimpse into the 90s, dude, with Point Break. It's a serious film. It's not a fucking joke film. It's a serious film. The only parts they miss, the acting's kind of like amateur on one side of it. So on the Bodie and Tyler Rand side and their crew, the Surfer crew, the acting's solid. The acting's top notch. Almost like Johnny Utah and Gary Busey thing, the acting's like, it's fine. It doesn't ruin it. It's not bad enough to ruin it, but it's kind of, if it was like a little better, maybe we could give the movie an extra point out of 10. Other than that, they have a lot of things. It's not too violent. Like you don't get tense watching this movie, like if you're watching Heat. I definitely don't watch those. They release now on Netflix. You can't avoid sports. It's crazy, dude. You can't avoid sports. Literally, like, you're on YouTube. I'm just trying to fucking watch, like, general, like, content. Just general fucking, just people. Just people. But then now all of a sudden it's like all these like people talking about pro sports. You can't get away from viewing sports, and now I'm like, okay, I can't deal with this anymore. Go to fucking Netflix. What are they gonna fucking do? Now I gotta watch like it's fucking like Life of Ryan Sheckler with fucking the NBA starting five or some shit like that. Like fucking Newport Harbor of the NBA starting five. I'm just like, no, dude, I do not need this. It's intrusive. Do not accept, unless you want to up your attention and maybe you're making marketing deals with it. If you want to if you're doing it from that perspective, I guess then you could talk about how you're going to do it right. Okay, we're going to go in there and fucking like just dominate the fucking situation. Like to get, or if you wanted to get on there, I'll probably do this. I'll make a push for you if you wanted to get on that fucking show for the next one. They're probably already filming this one. You have to fucking think about season 4 of it. They may continue doing it, but I think some people definitely want to watch that stuff. I don't fucking. I think it's too detailed to fucking look at a fucking other human being. Like I'll watch an interview or something on a podcast. You go to this guy in Las Vegas, Bradley, and then you go to this other guy in Las Vegas, Ryan Pineda. Just that right there. You go to this guy, fucking Lewis Howes. You know, like you go to these guys. You go to fucking Dan Martell, and you go to fucking Bedros Keuilian. When you're like an NBA player, kind of in those like NBA circles or MLB circles or fucking, you know, NFL circles and stuff like that. As a player, former player, you start talking to people like this, you know, Carlton Dennis, people like that. You start talking to all these type of people. They're talking to just generalized human beings that are in business and fucking, you know, they're running their business life. Those are people they have their stuff together in life. They're more spread out, and they're in certain hubs, and the people that are watching this type of content. And these are good people, like when you're, you know, looking to work your way into other lanes, which you should start doing when you know you're going to be retiring in 7 years or something. You got to start thinking about, you know, let me start networking. You're basically just networking. So when you're post-career, you know, start doing it when your star is the brightest, is what you do. Because that means like you have value for them. So if they were to put you on an interview, then that's a big interview for them because you're some big MLB star. You go on there, but you're thinking about like, yeah, you might be way bigger than them now, but like when you're like in your 40s, you're going to want to work with these people because these are people that are going to be, you know, deciding who are governors. These are people that are going to be deciding who are mayors. These are people that are going to be like doing a lot of business and real estate and things like that. So when you're, you know, in your mid 40s and beyond, you're going to want to know these people. You have the ability, when your fame is kind of the brightest, they're going to want to have you around because you're in that winning mode of life. You know, you're in that winning mode of life. So they may even just have you chat with the employees and things like that. Probably even helps them just because you're used to, you know, you're helping them just kind of like get their mentality right. It's the thing with pro athletes is they're so driven and they're so dialed in, and their processes are so professionalized because they are used to being around high-level training and high-level coaches and lots of pressure to fucking live up to these contracts. So they have to be doing everything. Doesn't mean they can't eat a donut, you know, that's the thing, but they have to kind of cut the bullshit and fucking get their fucking practice in and get all their fucking reps in, okay? That's why I like reading stuff from like sports heroes. I can read stuff from Bill Russell, you know, all these guys have books. You know, I can read stuff from fucking Jerry West. I can read stuff from fucking Ted Williams. These are kind of like hard and strong men that you can probably gain a lot from, okay?